Music is magic. It reprograms your subconscious mind. This is why you remember the lyrics, because it impresses your subconscious. Repetition is the fastest way to ingrain your subconscious. Repetitive beats puts the brain in hypnosis, where the subconscious mind becomes highly suggestible, planting drugs, money, and sex into your mind. Why do you think your body has to move to the music? Because it puts you in a hypnotic trance. Music invokes emotion, conditions your mind, makes your physical body dance, and can raise your energy or lower your energy. Music influences your four bodies: mental, emotional, physical, spiritual. Listening to music is a magic ritual. A ritual is just a ceremony you do over and over to invoke that state of consciousness to impress in your subconscious mind. Your physical reality is an externalization of your conditioned mind. Condition your mind wisely with the correct lyrics. Heaven and hell are not places, they are mind states. Your head is heaven and your heel is hell, and the bottom of the foot is called the soul. Your soul is suffering in hell if your mind is negative, filled with chaos, seeking validation from the external world. You are not your mind. You are the soul, the one who observes and controls the mind. Life is all a mental game. And if your mind is in chaos and negativity, your soul, suffers from the mind. Heaven and hell are just symbolic places, symbolic of the state of your mind. Life is an experience of the mind. Control your mind, you control your reality.
Freemasons always symbolize this coffin at the bottom of their artwork. This coffin represents unconsciousness, with the star representing you. You are a star, a being of light. It represents unconsciousness, lack of awareness. It's a condition in which we do not even recognize that we have consciousness. We take it for granted. We never stop to ask what it is, where it came from, and what our purpose actually is to have this consciousness. In this unconscious state, you have no personal power. Your mind is passive and highly influenced by the external world. We are easily shaped by collective thought patterns, cultural beliefs, media, institutions, and social pressures. Because we lack inner awareness, we lack discernment. And this is the state we must use the spade to dig ourselves out of. We need to dig ourselves out of this spiritual deadness, not realizing we live in two worlds: an inner world of forces of energies and consciousness, thoughts, emotions, and an outer world, a material world, a body. We need to dig ourselves out of this spiritual deadness and recognize the forces of consciousness within us that shape our material life. And when we reconstruct our inner world, we can start to reconstruct our external world, because the inner world mirrors the external world.
Why is it the Vatican shows so many snake symbols? Even the Pope uses this. Even Alfa Romeo uses this symbol. This is why Eve gets tempted by a snake. Snakes represent sexual energy. This energy cultivates and transforms your child body into an adult, and it can transform you into a god. In order for creation, there must be destruction. Every time you release, you're giving your life force to create another life. You give a part of your soul to create another life. Your sexual energy is the power of creation. You can save it, cultivate it, and activate your kundalini, which will then activate dormant brain cells, allowing your brain to process information with more efficiency and faster. Or you can save it and redirect it into other aspects of your life: critical thinking, manifestation, and chasing your goals. Sexual emotions are the most powerful emotions you could possibly feel, but don't let the snake eat you, because this is what stops you from reaching high states of consciousness and stops you from reaching your highest potential and creating abundance in your life. This is symbolic of giving in to our sexual urges, which make us fall from the Garden of Eden, our highest potential of human consciousness. Don't fall for the illusion of the material pleasures. We need to stop misusing the power of creation. My students are learning sexual alchemy in my university. The Pope is opening 5 portals. These are the locations of them. Connecting the dots of these locations creates the sigil of Lucifer. This is going to blow your mind. Sigil of Lucifer is your brain's visual field with the eyes. You don't see into reality. Light enters the eyes and an image is produced in your brain. Everything outside of you is just energy. Your brain turns it into a reality you can interact with. These rituals are all to do with perception. That's why he's opening 5 doors for your 5 senses. 5 points on the body, 5 toes, 5 fingers. 5 is the portal that connects spirit with matter, consciousness interacting with the material world. The Pope is not opening spiritual portals for demons. This was all a psyop. The portal they're opening is a negative portal in your own mind. This ritual was to create fear in our minds to make us project it into the reality, because the physical world is just an externalization of our inner consciousness. By planting fear in the collective minds and projecting this reality to keep us distracted, this is what Lucifer is. Lucifer is you, your consciousness, your divine self, falling for the material tricks. Matrix. This is just another distraction to install fear into your mind. We are not in 2025. Month comes from the word moon, moonth. The moon has a 28-day moon cycle. 365 divided by 28 is 13. 13 lunar cycles every year, which means our calendar has a missing month, which means we don't know what year we're actually in. This is gonna blow your mind. The sky is a clock. The sun tells the time of the day. The moon tells the day of the month. The stars tell you the month of the year. The sky above our head is intelligent. Everything on earth is matter. Everything above us is spirit. That's why they're floating. They're not rocks you can land on. The Gregorian calendar was made for slaves. Calendar comes from calends, the first day of the month the Romans had to pay off their debt. So what does all of this actually mean, and why did they do it? They made this fake calendar to cut off our connection with our celestial intelligence above and keep our mind, body and spirit out of rhythm with these cycles. We must live in harmony with the cycles above us. You can create abundance in your life with using the moon to your advantage. All of my students know you don't need caffeine, you need charging. You are an electromagnetic battery and you have no energy because you're not charging your field. This is the force that gives you energy and life. This will give you electromagnetic energy because it's charged by the electromagnetic sun and grows out the electromagnetic earth. Coffee doesn't give you energy. The energy levels you get off coffee is the side effect of the toxic reaction it has with your body. It's a short-term effect that gives you fake energy. Real energy comes from grounding, the sunlight, and eating electromagnetic food. Coffee is toxic for your nervous system. They'll teach you about minerals and vitamins, but never tell you the most basic thing about the human body is that it runs off electricity. It's a technological machine. Bless means be less you. A soldier is a soul dyer. You are weakened on the weekend from the weekdays. Days is unable to think in a state of confusion. On the weekdays you work a job, which is Hebrew for persecuted. On that job you earn. An urn is a vessel for the ashes of the dead. Awake is a wake. A wake is a gathering that takes place before a funeral. Hollywood is the holy wood, the wood from a holly tree. This wood was used to create magic wands. They cast spells to a broad audience through the tele-vision, through the Hollywood programs. The bottom of the foot is called the soul, and your heel is hell. Your soul is in hell. You must raise your consciousness to the head, heaven. Heel is hell, earth rearranged is heart, and head is heaven. They're inside of you, not external places. They teach you to say the vowels in this order, A, E, I, O, U, to train you to become a slave. They want you to think slaughter is laughter. The English language is full of hidden spells. Join my free Telegram chat. You are God. Yahweh in Hebrew forms the body. The 4 Hebrew letters are the 4 elements, which represent your 4 bodies. Earth is the physical body, water is the emotional body, fire is the spirit, air is the mind. Sound of Yahweh is the inhale and exhale of breath. Pause the video and breathe and you can hear it. Yahweh in Hebrew means I am. Jesus in French means I am. Yahweh adds up to 26. You have 206 bones in the body. You have sulfur bridges every 10,565 in your DNA strands, which in Hebrew gematria creates Yahweh. Jesus never existed. You are Jesus. You are God made flesh. Israel is not the Holy Land. The Holy Land is within you. Isis, Ra, and El. Isis, the feminine right brain. Ra, the masculine left brain. El comes from Elohim, which means God. When the 2 hemispheres of your brain come together and work as one electrical system, you're left with pure consciousness, which can lead to out-of-body experiences. Even the Bible tells you to astral project, rather be absent from the body and to be present with the Lord. Corinthians 5:8. The Bible says, I know a man in Christ who was caught up in the 3rd heaven. Physical, etheric, astral. This is astral projection. Whether in the body or out of the body, I do not know. Corinthians 12:2. This is why the Sumerian gods had 2 faces, and the 33rd degree symbol has 2 eagle faces, because it symbolizes having mastery over the physical and the astral body. You can quite literally live while people sleep. Leaving your physical body puts you in the 4th dimension, the astral plane, which is the screen you have in your mind that allows you to imagine a red apple. As a child, you could imagine very vividly because you came from the 4th dimension. As you grew older, you lost this ability to imagine. Your consciousness is pure light. And through the intent and focus of your mind, you can focus this light into a form, which is what we call imagination, the fourth dimension. That's why I put together a free guide which gives you practical methods to enhance your inner vision. Anyone can get this, it's for free, and it's basically a teaching from Ethereal University. On something quite scary on the $1 bill, you might want to check this out. So first of all, we need to look at this symbol here. Symbolism is a language that you don't speak, and only the initiated into secret societies understand symbolism. This is filled with symbolism, and I can read it because I understand symbolism. Anu Coeptus Novus Ordo Seclarum, announcing the birth of the new order of the ages, the new world. This is the new world order. And then if we look here, what do we have? We have an omega. Omega. Alpha, the first. Omega, the last. This is the last. This is the last fiat currency before the Great Reset. This is what's happening, people. They're going to reset the currency system, and it's going to be all digital money. What do you guys think about this? Plus, we have on the $1 bill, this isn't the scary part, but this is another piece of symbolism. One. In God we trust. God is one. Because I am God, you are God. God is in everything and everyone. There is nothing but God. God is consciousness, and consciousness is in the head. This is why this symbol represents the enlightened human being. The illumination of the mind. Illuminati, illumination. This is when one realizes they are God and have limitless potential. What do you guys think? Have you ever wondered why the word ship is at the end of everything? There's a hidden spell behind every word. Your body is 60% water, and you were born through your mother's waters. When a ship pulls up to its bay, it's called the birth canal. The ship gives birth to the products on the ship. When the ship arrives, it gets a certificate of manifest certifying all the products on the ship. When you arrive in your mother's water, you get a certificate of manifest, which is your birth certificate, because you are a product to the system. On that birth certificate, there's a date. That date is the Gregorian calendar, which is a copyrighted timeline created by Pope Gregory. Therefore, on paper, your name is a corporation and it's signed to a copyrighted timeline. When you get a letter and your name is in full capital letters, that's your corporation, not you. You can't tax a physical body, but you can tax a corporation. You are the I am, and your consciousness is identifying itself with the corporation, which is attached to the system. The word calendar comes from calends, which is the first day of the month the Romans had to pay their tax. God's calendar is a 28-day moon cycle. They made an artificial calendar to control you. Bank is a river bank, and money is water. That's why money in the bank is called a currency, because the banks direct the flow of the current. And that's why we call it liquidity. The English language is a giant spell to keep you attached to the system. Sex is sacred energy exchange. Your DNA and energy is exchanged, creating an emotional bond on the astral plane, which connects your soul with their soul, their emotions with your emotions. Don't have sex with just anyone. Their trauma and emotions can affect you. Sex is a sacred ritual which invokes a soul into the physical world, because the woman holds a portal and the man holds the key to open the portal from the astral into the physical plane. Performing sex with a negative mindset will invoke a negative soul. You must perform the ritual properly. Don't waste your sexual energy. This energy creates a human life. Transmute it to create something else. You shouldn't release unless you're making a baby. Releasing is making you mineral deficient and flooding your brain with dopamine, which is the brain's reward system. Releasing is tricking yourself that you've achieved something. This is why you have no drive, no passion, no energy, because you're tricking your brain that you've achieved something already. Women store DNA from every man they've made love with, which could even affect their offspring. In order for creation, there must be destruction. A woman goes through pain to give birth to a beautiful child. Every time you release, you're killing your creativity, your drive. Don't have sex with just anyone, and don't release your fluids. Mineral deficiency is linked to balding. I'll see you inside of Ethereal University. If you join now, you get a free sexual alchemy course before the price goes. Jesus never existed. The Last Supper is astrology. Each body part is ruled by a zodiac. Aries the lamb rules the head, which is why he's on the head of the table. Taurus rules the neck. He has a very thick neck for Taurus the bull. The next sign is Gemini. Gemini is the two arms, the two twins. That's why his hands are up for the two twins. Next sign is Cancer the crab with pinchers. He's holding a knife for the pincher of Cancer. The next sign is Leo when the sun is powerful, radiant and summer. That's why he's showing dominance with a clenched fist and an elbow on the table. The next sign is Virgo the virgin. He's pointing that there's no Adam's apple. This is a woman of Virgo the virgin. Jesus is the sun, the light of the world, the risen savior, the son of God. He's placed in a triangle to symbolize the sun's rays. One hand up for the daytime, one hand down for the taking away of the sun at nighttime. Libra is when the sun is balanced between summer and the winter. That's why Libra is the balanced scales, and the symbol is a half rising sun. That's why he's holding his arms out balanced. Next sign is Scorpio with this man pointing upwards. Scorpio is our reproductive sexual organs. He's pointing up because you must raise your sexual energy up to Aries. That's why Aries is an anagram for arise. They're in 4 groups of 3 because there are 3 months in each season. Luke, Mark, John and Matthew. Spring, summer, fall, winter. Jesus is the sun, which is our soul. Spring is our physical body. Summer is our spirit. Fall is our emotions, winter. Breakfast is break fast because they don't want you fasting to regenerate your body. So they programmed you to eat dense food in the morning. And then when you're tired by 10 p.m, you need poison coffee for more energy. All you need to do is to fast till 2 p.m. Then have fruit or a smoothie, something easy on the digestive system. 60% of your energy goes to the digestive system. So when you fast, this energy can be redirected into regenerating your body and producing stem cells. Your body's encoded with self-regenerating technology. That's why you cut yourself, it heals automatically. It's the same with illness. Your body knows how to heal the illness you have. You just have to move out of your acidic environment to an alkaline environment. So your body doesn't waste its time fighting off the toxic food you place in. Instead, it can redirect this energy into healing the body. Healing is not an overnight process. It takes months of an alkaline diet and fasting every week, and using these herbs to detoxify your temple. Meat, dairy, and these unnatural foods all cause inflammation in your body. Carrots are not healthy. Potatoes are not healthy. Broccoli and white rice, these things are all unnatural and made by humans. Your body only recognizes what was here on the day of creation, such as apples, figs, pears, strawberries, and all organic things. You are God. Everything physical began as a thought. This pencil, this book, this keyboard all began as a thought in the mind. The world around you is the effect of God's mind. He thought this reality into existence. You are living in the mind of God. You are a thought in the mind of God. You possess a mind, a fractal of God's mind. Just like God thought this reality into existence, you are a smaller version of God and you use your mind to bring thought into physical reality. It's a fractal repeating process of manifestation. You're probably thinking, well, what does this mean? This means you are a creator. You are a magician bringing non-physical thoughts into tangible reality. It means God is not in the sky, and God is someone who can't save you. You save yourself by mastering your mind, because your mind can be a prison and it can be hell if you live in negative mind states. Every religion stems from self-mastery of the mind. By cleansing the mind and purifying your mental state and gaining full control over your mind, You can consciously direct thoughts and energy to the things you want to create in your life, instead of wasting all of your mind's energy on lust, food, and low-level pleasures. The name, the job, the reputation, and any external thing is not God. The true I am, the true source consciousness within you, is God. Climb the pyramid to higher consciousness and purify yourself of these external factors. And in this state is when the mind can create efficiently. Black Friday sale, use code GIFT. It's a soul system, not a solar system. You started in the stars and you entered the heart of the soul system, which rearranged spells Earth. You took on the 7 energies of consciousness, the 7 planets. That's why you have 7 chakras and the 7 days of creation. You started in the stars. That's why you are a star, a cis star, monster, fraud star. That's why we need to reach for the stars and ascend to our astral body. Our astral body is the star body, the celestial body. You descended from spirit to matter, from the stars to the earth, and turned into the Anunnaki. Anu, the sky god, represents spirit. Ki, the god of the earth, represents matter. Together they gave birth to the Anunnaki. Anu and Ki, spirit and matter. You are the Anunnaki. You incarnated into a specific unique time and place of the planets and the stars, which imprinted a specific energy in you. This is why stars. This is why you have a midlife crisis at 33. Because Saturn takes 33 years to go around the zodiac. Saturn is in the exact same position from when you were born at age 33. And Saturn is the aspect of your consciousness that limits you and makes you learn. This book has changed thousands of people's lives. Black Friday sale, 40% off, use the code GIFT. I will never recover from these images that I've just found. Giants definitely existed. Take a look at the size of these people only around 100 years ago. Now imagine the size of these people around 500 years ago or 1,000 years ago. They would have been 10 times bigger than this. The oxygen levels were way higher 1,000 years ago, so just imagine the size of these people. Now what I'm going to show you at the end is going to blow your mind. I think these people were purposely wiped out. Why do we not see them now? What happened to their genetics? Why have they not reached this generation? One thing that you may have not noticed, which is the fashion these people are wearing. Why has humanity lost their sense of beauty and classiness? I have yet to see one obese person in any of these images, which is absolutely crazy. They all look healthy, well-informed, and well-mannered. Humanity has truly lost their ways. Now take a look at this. Maybe this is why the Egyptians showed giant people in their artwork, and maybe their statues were the true size of these humans. I thank you all for being part of this journey. I've now hit 1 million followers on TikTok. There are 3 aspects of your consciousness: thoughts, emotions, and actions. If you align them all towards your goals, you will create the reality that you want. To celebrate, use the code WISDOM for 40% off the Book of Wisdom or anything in the store. The Olympic ceremony mocks the Last Supper. After their mocking, everything went down in a power outage. The only thing that remained is this lit up church. Everyone now thinks that Jesus is speaking and now coming back, but this is just another psyop. Bible even says God's kingdom is in heaven, and then says the kingdom of God is within you, which means heaven and the kingdom of God is a state of mind and consciousness. There is no man in the sky going to save you. God's power of transmuting thought into physical reality is inside of you. The Olympic ceremony was just another psyop to push religion onto the masses so that you externalize your creative power of God. Everything you see physical is an effect of a thought. Everything began as a thought in the divine mind. Therefore, you are a thought in the mind of God, and you yourself possess a microcosm of the mind of God. Every thought you've had in the past has led you to this very point. Therefore, your external world is a projection from the mind. Don't fall for religion. The only religion is within you, and God is inside of you, people. The devil is the deveiling of your consciousness when your mind is stuck in a physical reality: lust, food, money, fame, power. This is the devil. Red is the lowest vibrational color on the color spectrum, which corresponds to the surface level of your consciousness. He has goat horns symbolizing an animal. This is the animal nature of human consciousness. Red symbolizes rage, which is the lack of emotional control. Deep down within you, you are the fabric of the universe itself. You have the ability to create, turn thought into physical existence. This pencil was a thought before it was a physical reality. You possess the power of creation. You can use this for good or evil. Do evil is the devil, and God is good. Reptilians do not exist. We're not being controlled by reptiles. There are 3 parts of the brain. The reptilian brain is mainly used when one is using survival needs. This is the instinctual part of your nature. People who control this world are mainly operating in their reptilian brain. It's all a metaphor. It's all scarcity to make you fear. Head is the heaven, earth is the heart, and heel is the hell. These are all states of consciousness. So is God, and so is the devil. The church is a scam. The devil doesn't exist. The devil is your own aspect of your mind, tempting you to engage in low-level pleasures. Praying is witchcraft. You are using words to alter your reality. Words create vibrational frequencies. Praying over food is changing the vibrational frequency of the water in the food. They are raising the vibration of the food before they place it in their body. Each cell in our body responds to the frequencies produced by thoughts, words, and emotions. Holding their hands together is an ancient form of meditation because your hands are manifestations of your brain hemispheres. Placing them together completes the electrical circuit of the brain and the body and allows electrical energy to flow through the meridians of the body. This technique was used to balance the hemispheres of the brain during meditation to access a higher consciousness. Jesus even says, "No longer will you ask me for anything." Instead of praying to Jesus, the Bible says, "Believe that you receive them and you shall have it." This way you trick the subconscious mind in believing that you already have it, which will manifest into your reality. You attract what you are. Music is magic. Be careful what you listen to because it molds your mind. You have 5 fingers for the 5 elements. The skull corresponds with the elements. The jaw represents the earth. Water goes on top of the earth in the mouth. Air goes through the nose, fire is light in the eyes, and spirit is the third eye. The 4 physical elements are the 4 vibrational states of the ether or spirit. 5 points on the body for the 5 elements. Ether or spirit is the base of all physical matter. The 4 elements are the 4 vibrational states of the ether. It's the most important one, and that's why it's always on the top. That's why the middle finger is swearing, because they hid the ether. Satanic people turn this upside down to put spirit on the bottom because they are materialists. They represent Saturn. This symbol is not evil. The word scared is sacred for a reason because they've made you scared of all the sacred symbols. This symbol represents the 5 elements of creation. If you want to advance in your life, I am now doing private one-on-one consultations. If you wish to talk to me, let's go on a call. Dreams carry messages. Dreaming is a low-powered astral projection. You are leaving the physical body, the conscious mind, into the subconscious realms of the astral imagination realm. Astral plane is the screen in your mind that allows you to imagine an apple. If you see Jesus in your dream, this is not Jesus. It is your belief materializing in the 4th dimension, the imagination realm. You know when you have them dreams when people are chasing you? This is a negative aspect of your mind which is materializing itself. All of the trauma, all of the negative events that have happened are stored within your subconscious, and these are materializing itself and showing it to you in your dreams. Everything in your dream is an aspect of your own mind, therefore it is showing you messages. If you cannot control your dreams, this is your subconscious controlling the dream. You can't control your dreams because you think it's just a dream, when it's not. It's actually a whole other reality. You are a multi-dimensional consciousness. You must remove the program of "it's just a dream." Before you go to sleep, consciously think and feel and believe that you will control your dream. Throughout the day, you need to be doing reality checks by pinching yourself and saying, "Am I dreaming?" This will train your subconscious mind to say this while you are dreaming, and when you pinch yourself in your dream, you will become lucid. Once you are lucid, you can then go gain knowledge and do whatever you want in the realms of the mind. Whatever you do, never look into a mirror. The truth is always hidden in plain sight. Who remembers playing hopscotch as a child? You're probably wondering what this tree represents. It's the descent of manifestation. All creation begins as an emanation from the mind, thought. From subtle, thought unfolds into spirit and then descends into matter. You are not the body, you are the divine mind. Your whole life you've been bringing thought into physical reality, Malkuth. You come from heaven, which is the higher realms of consciousness, and you descended into physical reality. Luke 10:18, I watched Satan fall from heaven like a flash of lightning. Here's heaven, here's the flash of lightning. It's the manifestation of mind into matter. You represent Satan, a fallen state of consciousness, because matter is the lowest state of consciousness. 10 spheres, 22 different pathways, and 1 dath, which adds up to 33. Jesus is the body, the Christ is the divine mind within you, and you manifested through the 33 segments of this tree into Malkuth. You died on the cross, which is your body, and got the 5 wounds, the 5 senses of the physical universe, Malkuth. You came from spirit to matter. Now you got to go from matter to spirit through spiritual awakening, mental transmutation, and love. Christians knew about it, and it's even on your hands. Hopscotch is a game which represents the path back to source, back to God. Book of Wisdom Volume 2 is nearly ready, people. You do not see into reality. The eyes are black holes. They suck in the light in the images produced at the back of the brain called the visual cortex. This is because the universe is a mental projection, and it's the number one law in the Kabbalion, that all is mind, the universe is mental. You never actually feel the external world. When you touch something, this is your brain's interpretation of electrical signals on your nervous system. You touch, taste, smell, hear, and see with your brain. You're not in the world. The world is being simulated from the brain and the body. It's a piece of technology. Your body is the earth. The sun is your soul. The moon represents your mind. Your body is an advanced VR headset which produces a simulation. You are the universal mind, the observer behind your thoughts, emotions, and senses. There is only one of us in the universe, and that is God. The one consciousness is what gives life to every single living life form. There is only one consciousness, there is only one God, and there is only one number, which is the number 1, which is the letter I. The I am within you is the universal consciousness, which is God. Government, they govern your ment, your mind. Your environment is a product of your mind, and the elements exist in your mind, and they advertise to your ment, your mind. There is not one thing you can't think of. Every possibility exists in the mind. The mind is an infinite metaphysical consciousness. Your brain is a supercomputer. They're not the same thing. The Book of Wisdom explains everything. You create demons. Demon is a demon. Mon is the moon, meaning emotion. D means negative. Demon is a negative emotion, which possess your mind, body, and spirit. You have a physical and an astral body. Constant negative thoughts and emotions create astral energy, which latches onto your body. These entities are created by your own thought forms. You feed them by giving them emotional and mental energy. Every addiction you have is an astral entity that you have created. The astral plane is the screen you have in your mind that allows you to imagine an apple. This is a whole other dimension, and you have a body there. The more attention you give them, the bigger, the stronger, and more influence they have on your body. Thoughts and emotions are a lot more powerful than you think. They are the commands that bring things into existence. You are a magician. Imagination. I, Magic Nation. You are a magician. You bring non-physical thoughts into a physical reality. You've been doing magic your whole life. Hey people, the Book of Wisdom Volume 2 will be available October the 8th, 12 AM midnight. I will be releasing the new stage, the new era of human awakening. I can't wait to share this one with you. I just want to say thank you all for your support. There is limited stock and there will be no PDFs, only physical versions. I will be talking inside of this book about things that cannot be revealed online. I can't wait to share this one with you. Have an amazing day. You're cursing yourself if you do this. It's the Antichrist cross, which represents the brain and the heart and cutting the connection. The reason why this is bad is because your brain and your heart are directly connected. The cranial brain does the thinking, but every thought you think produces an emotion felt in the heart. In fact, the heart has its own neural network with 40,000 specialized cells, which are the same cells found in the cranial brain. Therefore, the heart is the second brain. However, the cranial brain has 2 hemispheres, therefore thinking with it can cause dualism and confusion. The heart has an intelligence of its own, just like the cranial brain. However, the heart does not have 2 hemispheres, it's a singular organ. So when you say follow your heart, this has a deep meaning, because the heart is the tablet that tells you what is right and what is wrong. When you hurt someone, you can feel it in your heart. The heart is the moral law within you that tells you what is right and what is wrong. That's why Jesus is always pointing at the heart. When you follow your heart long enough, this takes you to your life purpose. It's easy to connect to our heart intelligence. All you have to do is turn off the cranial thoughts, put your hand on your heart, and listen to the emotional intelligence. They don't want us connected to our hearts because this is where love and empathy comes from, and this is where our true life purpose resides. The Book of Wisdom Volume 2 is now available. You can get it in hardback exclusive edition or just paperback. Take a look at this. A TV presenter accidentally did the Baphomet symbol. This was done live on television, but there is something more to this symbol. The Baphomet is good, it's not evil. Religion has miseducated you to think it's evil. I'm going to break this down to you from top to bottom forgotten so that you can gain an understanding. First of all, symbols speak to your subconscious mind. Symbols activate thoughts in the invisible realms of mind. Symbols are keys to understand higher things. This symbol can be used for good and the bad. The goat is a ground animal, represents the lower self, the ego. The wings are an air animal, represents the higher self, the elevated state. The dome he's sitting on is the earth element. The fish scales on the stomach are the water element. We have the fire element, also representing human enlightenment, the higher self, and the kundalini. The wings also represent the air element. As above, so below. What happens in the mind happens in your external reality. The moon represents emotion, the feminine aspect of your consciousness. The moon is either on top of you, ruling your body, or you are standing on top of the moon, controlling your emotions. This is not the devil horns. It represents the lower self, the moon controlling you, your emotions. He's male and female, representing polarity of the physical plane, left and right. The Baphomet is a symbol which symbolizes the transformation from the lower mind to the higher mind, to a sleep, to awakened and enlightenment. I have a whole new book of wisdom coming soon which will explain absolutely everything in detail. You don't need food, you need charging. There are many different ways you can charge the body, like grounding or standing next to trees. You are a biological battery. You feel hungry? This is not hunger. It's your body getting rid of waste from the colon. It's important that you fast. After 48 hours of fasting, your body starts to produce stem cells to regenerate itself. Your body will start to eat itself and kill all the bad cells. The human body is an electromagnetic technological machine. Every cell in your body conducts electricity. You need electrical food that's grown under the electric sun because you are an electrical battery. The sun's electric power is crystallized within the food. You are a light being, a hue meaning light and a man meaning manifested. You are light manifested. This is real food. You need electric food to charge your electric body. You don't need dead flesh. This is why you get charged in a court, because you're an electric battery. And when you get charged, you sit in a cell, a battery cell. This field shows sickness before your physical body is actually sick. The strength of your field has a correlation with your health. Thoughts are electric, emotions are magnetic. You need positive thoughts and emotions to strengthen this field. If you want to learn more, this book will tell you everything.
There was no year zero. You know why there's no year zero?
The word calendar comes from calends. Calends is the first day of the month the Romans had to pay off their debt. Calendar is an invention by Pope Gregory to remind people when to pay taxes. You are born into this copyrighted timeline, and this copyrighted timeline is on your birth certificate, which means you are owned by them. They did this also to lose concept of true time. We are not in 2024. The word month comes from moon, because a month is a 28-day lunar cycle. 365 divided by 28 is 13. We have 13 lunar cycles every year. Where is the missing month? This is where it gets crazy. We don't know what year we are truly in, people. The fluids in our body are in cycle with the moon. That's why women have a menstruation cycle every 28 days. The ancients would never eat anything on a full moon, and they would do rituals. Maybe they did this to keep us out of sync with the celestial bodies, because they hold influence over our consciousness. There's so much more that goes into. Kim Kardashian for Halloween wore a reptilian outfit. Many people are saying this is her true form. Maybe she is a reptilian. This looks very realistic. However, reptilians do not exist. There is a region within the human brain that is called the brainstem, which is also known as the reptilian brain. You use this part of the brain when you're in a survival state, fight or flight, eating and breathing. Essentially, this part of the brain does not think. It's always scanning the environment for food, threats, or even reproduction. This aspect of our brain is the lower mind, our animal self. Reptilians do not exist. Reptilians do not rule the world. But the reptilian brain at this moment in time is conquering human consciousness as a collective. Modern society only thinks about reproduction, food, and surviving. We are all stuck in fear and using this part of our brain. Get busy with the Wizzy, with the Book of Wisdom Volume 2. Porn is free because you pay with your soul. Google is free because you pay with your data. When something is free, you are the product. They have 2 O's because they're watching your data. Your phone is a digital footprint of your mind. Every text you take, every person you call, every search that you type in is being recorded in a database. Therefore, your phone is tracking the collective minds of the masses. All of our behavior is being fed into an artificial consciousness, AI. You created AI by feeding your mind into these tracking devices. AI will control everything and make you a slave. Don't let your phone be a prison for your mind. That's why it's called a cell phone. Instead, spread the word to the world by reposting these videos that I make and earn an income from your phone. Many of my affiliates have quit their job, earning freedom, making an income from their phone. It's not about the money, it doesn't exist. It's the freedom you can gain from it and live the life that you truly want to live. Click sign up, fill in the form, download my videos, and repost the videos. I've made this program for you so you can gain freedom and so we can spread an amazing message to the world. The link is in my bio to sign up. Your body is a temple. These Egyptian temples were not for worship. These temples were 3D schools which communicated to the student through a sophisticated language of symbols, volumes, and proportions, revealing ancient wisdom. They started their journey in the entrance, which represents the heels, because the temples were built in the human form, because they understood that God is within man, implying that man embodies the universe. The same principles that govern man are also the same governing the universe. It was a school teaching mental and spiritual ascension, to go from matter to spirit, from heel hell to head heaven. That's why the entrance is at the heels, representing the physical plane, the physical self, the lower carnal mind. The body wants the physical pleasures. Then raising up through the symbolism in these rooms up to the head heaven, which is the spiritual place. It is the spinal column that is the stairway to heaven. The Bible even talks about this, but you're just not reading it correctly. The word Yahweh means I am. Jesus in French is I am. Jesus in Latin is you are us. Be still and know that I am God. It's the I am within you is God. I am the light of the world. You project your own reality. You are the universe experiencing itself. You are a fractal of the consciousness of the universe, which is God. Satan represents your lower carnal mind that wants the fleshly desire. Book of Wisdom Volume 2 is nearly... Have you ever wondered why, if you minus all of the numbers on a clock, it adds up to 6? Well, here's why. 6 is the number of time, space, and matter. It represents the three-dimensional material world. Up, down, left, right, backwards, and forward. It's a six-sided cube. 60 minutes in an hour, 60 seconds in a minute, 24 hours in a day, 2 plus 4 equals 6. That's 666 in total. This is why you see black cubes everywhere you go, or the Nintendo GameCube. Jesus' cross is a cube unfolded. Jews wear a cube on top of their heads, and there's a reason why we say think outside the box. This is where it gets a bit crazy. 666 is the exact same structure of carbon, and your body's made out of carbon. The body is the mark of the beast, the mark of this three-dimensional material world. When the Bible says Satan, who's the god of this world, it represents Saturn, which is the god of time. Everything dies in time, therefore time is the god of this world. It rules this world. Everything physical began as a thought in the mind. The physical world is a shadow or an effect of thought. Therefore, your physical body is stuck in time, but your mind is outside of time. This is why your mind can go in the past and the future, but your body cannot. Thinking outside the box is a term referring to thinking outside of the physical plane, which is activating the light bodies, the eternal self, also known as astral projection. What I'm saying is your body is nothing. You are not your body. You are the eternal consciousness, which is not bound by the physical plane. You just have to awaken these other bodies. You get charged in a court because you're a battery, and then go to a prison cell, which is a battery cell where it holds your energy. They are harvesting your energy in prison. If you astral project and go to a prison, you'll see this for yourself. Energy cannot escape cubes. Everything today is built in cubes to trap energy. The ancients knew this. This is why their rooms were never square. They had pointed roofs for energy to escape. Everything you see molds your mind in some form or way. Cubes and squares are the most limited shapes. By seeing cubes and squares all the time, this is subconsciously limiting our minds. The ancients built with beauty and sophistication because they understood what they see has an effect on their mind. They changed this to dull us down, to make things more simple, to make you more simple. Environment, it's all mental, it all has an effect on your mind. I think you can work this one out yourself. Minds are expanding and people are progressing inside of the ethereal university. Do not stay in the shadow of ignorance. Progress your life with knowledge, people. I dare you to drink tap water after watching this video. This is absolutely insane. You might just want to show this to your friends and family to raise awareness. You might just save someone by showing them this video. Alcohol means body-eating spirit, al-Kul in Arabic. That's why vodka is called spirits. A jinn is a jinn, which is another type of spiritual entity. Alcohol was developed by alchemists who developed a way of extracting spirits from liquid. Alcohol is a form of a magic potion which the ancients used to alter their consciousness. They don't tell you about the astral and etheric plane, the realms beyond physical. Alcohol contains ethanol, which is ethanol, which is the barrier between the physical and the astral plane. Ancient magicians used potions to enhance their speed, strength, or whatever they want. Alcohol is a demonic potion which enhances aggression and violence because you're being possessed by these entities in the astral plane. Alcohol weakens your vibrational field, which allows these entities to enter your body. This is why people change to dark behaviors when they're intoxicated. The entities within them engage in violence and low-level sexual encounters. The whole world is drinking magic potions used for witchcraft. Why do you think you can buy alcohol in every shop and there's a pub on every street? Alcohol also weakens the immune system, kills brain cells, and reduces amounts of oxygen to reach the brain. Magic never disappeared. It was veiled in myths and stories to make it seem like a fantasy. 24-hour sale. Use the code HAPPY to save 15% on the Book of Wisdom. Water is emotion. Jesus never turned water into wine. He transmuted negative emotion to a positive emotion. Water into wine. It's a parable talking about purifying your internal state and raising your frequency. A sin is not an act, it's an emotion. An emotion that stops you from reaching the highest states of consciousness. 7 deadly sins are internal states that lower your frequency. Baptism is a lie. The 4 elements correspond with your state of consciousness. Pouring water on your head, you moved from the earth element, the lowest state of consciousness, into the water, which is the purification of one's consciousness. Water symbolizes the first stage of awakening and the purification process. Then fire represents your full transformative awakening. Air represents communication and the mental aspect of your consciousness. And spirit is the highest state. Most people are operating on the surface level of their consciousness. You are consciousness. Your body is not you. There is a battle between your consciousness and your body, the flesh and God. You must crucify yourself and sacrifice yourself by giving up your ego and fleshly desire to God. 5 wounds on the cross are the 5 senses. You must give up material desire to your consciousness to be born again. Ethereal University will give you long-form lectures, plus a library filled with occult books. What you are seeing here is proof that your body is an electrical circuit. When placing your hands together or your hands with someone else together, it completes an electrical circuit. This raises your frequency because your body's electrical circuit is now flowing freely. This is the real reason why people hold their hands together to pray. It stems from an ancient method of meditation to raise your energy and balance your hemispheres, because the whole body is an extension of the brain. Your brain's a computer controlling the body through electricity. Placing your hands together balances the yin and yang energy within the body, the left and right hemisphere of the brain. Why do you think we pray over food holding hands? By holding hands, we're increasing energy, then casting spells over the food to raise the frequency of the water inside of the food. Everything is vibrating. What you place inside of you will affect your energy levels and vibration. Never eat anything if you're in a bad state of mind or emotions. Every cell, every tree, every object you see has magnetic presence. Magnetism is the creator of the physical world. You must look after your magnetic field. The words you speak, the thoughts you think, the food you eat, the water you drink, all contributes towards the health of your magnetic aura. When the field is damaged, you become sick. It is believed that the field shows illness before your physical body shows illness. Think positive, stay positive, feel positive, and eat electrical live food high in magnetism. Protect your energy at all costs. And use code WISDOM for 40% off my book. What you are seeing here is how music is a form of magic. This is the effect of vibration and frequency being played into some form of liquid. 80% of your body is water, which is a liquid. Any form of music can influence your thoughts and emotions and your intent. That's why in Islam it's haram. Your life is an externalization of your mind. Music is hypnosis, putting you in a hypnotic trance, making you move, feel different emotions and think different thoughts, contributing towards shaping and molding your mind, which then ends up in shaping your external reality. Programs the storehouse of your mind, the subconscious. This is why you remember the lyrics so vividly. The feeling of nostalgia when listening to an old song is a form of a memory loop. Modern day music is a form of propaganda, which is molding the minds of society. This is a war, but the battlefield is in the mind. The mind is the most powerful tool that you've been given. There is nothing that you can't think of because there are infinite possibilities with the mind. Protect your mind at all costs. You live in a square home with square windows, and when you are home, you turn on your square TV, or you look at your square phone. When you go outside, you see square buildings. What is it with all of these squares around us? Observing the ancient buildings, they never used to build square rooms or square buildings. You will also never see a square in nature. Or did you know what you see creates your perception of reality? What you take in visually is quite literally shaping and molding your mind. In geometry, the square is the most limited shape, and it is the most simplest shape. Maybe this is done on purpose to lower our mind's potential so that we can be simple. The ancients never built in squares because they understood how energy works. They built pointed roofs so that all of the energy can escape at a singular point. Cubed rooms trap energy. All of our arguments and emotional energy is stuck within the atmosphere of our cubed rooms. Let me know what you think about this one. Thank you to everyone who joined the subscription. If you're using AirPods, your brain is being attacked by electromagnetic radiation. Your hair is an antenna for the nervous system, which picks up frequencies and energy. Radiation from these Bluetooth devices are destroying your nervous system. It's also destroying the energy field around your body. Every cell in your body has an electromagnetic field. All of these cells come together and form the overall electromagnetic field. Radiation from these devices are causing inflammation in cells, which then causes your field to become weaker, which then causes your body to become ill. It is said that the strength of the field is directly correlated to the health of the body. Some studies show that illness shows up in this field before it manifests in the body. Therefore, illness may not be something that we catch. It's the result of us lowering our frequency to match the frequency of illness. That's why in this book, there is a frequency for every single illness that exists. By listening to the frequency, we're healing our field, which will then heal our physical body. So to save your health and your energy field and your nervous system, use Wired as much as possible. Do you want more in-depth content about personal things and how to progress in life? Join the exclusive, or join the other 22,000 people in my Telegram. When you realize you are a piece of data carrying information through a circuit board made to harness your energy, you might just wake up. You get charged in a court because you're an electrical battery, and when you get charged, you sit in a battery cell. Advertisement is a form of mind control, manipulating emotional energy. The word advertisement is advertised to the mental body, the mind. Billboards surround everywhere, implanting messages within your subconscious. Ask yourself, do you really think we're meant to live this way? Did you know your heart is not actually a pump? The heart is in the shape of a chestahedron, a seven-sided shape where all of the surface areas are the same. When placing a chestahedron in a box, it sits on an angle of 36 degrees off center. This is the same angle which the heart sits in the chest, hence why it's called a chestahedron. Placing a chestahedron in water creates a vortex in the water, and your heart tissues is in a vortex spiral. Your heart is actually one muscle but wrapped in a spiraling vortex form. This is because your heart is a vortex energy generator. Blood enters the heart and creates a vortex spiral inside of the heart. Your heart turns water in the blood into plasma, the fourth state of water, which they'll never tell you about. Plasma makes up approximately 55% of your blood. The earth is electromagnetic. The reason why heart rearranged is earth is because the heart takes the electromagnetic energy of the earth and turns this into plasma in the blood to run the physical body. Your heart is directly connected to the universe, to the electromagnetic energy of the earth. This is why we always see Jesus pointing at his heart. Your heart is inside of the chest. This is where the treasure is, inside of the heart. Your heart contains 40,000 neurons, which is the exact same cells in your brain. The heart is the emotional brain which gives you guidance. It tells you what is right and what is wrong. This is why we say follow your heart. So much more that goes into the heart. I teach everything in the new lecture in my university. They tell you that the sun hurts you, but they don't tell you that the old hospitals used to have sun depths, because the sun detoxifies you by giving you electromagnetic energy. They tell you about the magnetic fields of magnets, but they don't tell you about the magnetic field around your body. Disease shows up in this field before it manifests physically in your body. The sun is electric, the earth is magnetic, and you are electromagnetic. This is why the ancients had grounding shoes to ground to the magnetic earth. Canes were not just for fashion, they were used for conductors of electromagnetic energy to ground the body to the earth. Now we wear sunglasses to block the sun's healing rays to entering our nervous system. We have lost true connection with our true nature, been turned into electrical batteries running through a matrix circuit board. Next stage of the human awakening begins October 8th. This is a revolution of human consciousness. If you don't agree with this video, you are heavily programmed. They tell you that tree hugging is weird, but they don't tell you that trees emit electromagnetic energy. Trees emit a frequency of 200 Hz, which makes you feel grounded, stable, and confident just being around trees. This is why the forest is for rest, because it strengthens your electromagnetic aura, which can heal your body and protect you from infections. Maybe this is the reason why there are less trees in a less income area, and there are more trees in a richer area, because they want to keep the mass population of the poor people sick, the rich people thriving and healthy. Let me know what you think about this, and the Book of Wisdom Volume 2 is now available. Stop seeking attention from people. You're operating from a sense of lack. You're trapping yourself in a cycle of seeking external validation. This will continue to happen until you figure out that true happiness, true validation comes from within. You're telling your subconscious mind this is what you want by seeking these things. Everything you do, everything you think is telling your subconscious that's what you want, and it's bringing it into existence. This is how it works. Nothing physical can ever satisfy your heart, can ever fill the void you have in your soul. Because your soul is not from this physical earth. Therefore, nothing from this physical earth can ever fill the void in your spiritual soul. You must find happiness within. You must be like the sun, which shines naturally without seeking recognition. Find it within. Heaven and hell are not places, they are mind states. Head is heaven and heel is hell, and the bottom of the foot is called the soul. 144,000 chosen ones will go to heaven according to the Bible. 1 plus 4 and 4 is 9. 9 represents consciousness. That's why I is the 9th letter of the English alphabet, because when you say I, you're referring to your consciousness. 144,000 is a state of consciousness. That's why 666 adds up to 9, because the mark of the beast is the lower self. 66 is 3 sixes. 3 represents the 3 aspects of consciousness: thoughts, emotions, actions. 6 is the number of physical reality. That's why the cube has 6 sides, and you're in a cube now. You can only move forward, backwards, left, right, upwards, and downs. 666 is when your thoughts, emotions, and actions are all based on physical reality, cutting off your spirituality. You are the beast in your lower nature. Your consciousness does not operate in this physical reality. That's why you must think outside of the box. The body is the box. The body is the beast, the animal. You are an individual. You exist in 2 realms at once, a material external reality and a spiritual non-physical reality internally, which is the compass and the square combined, spirit and matter. Internal spiritual world projects your outer material world. Spirit is heaven, matter is hell. Reason you feel so lost is because you don't understand your nature. Understanding who you are makes you feel so much better. Your phone is a digital footprint of your mind. Every action you take on your phone is recorded in a vast database. These actions originated from your mind. Your phone has become a digital manifestation of your spiritual mind. That's why they're called an iPhone, the I. When you refer to I, you're referring to the inner self, the observer behind your body, thoughts, and emotions. These phones have been used to track our consciousness, which has created AI. As a society, we have collectively infused our minds into these tracking devices like phones, tablets, and computers. They have merged all of our actions, behaviors, and preferences collected in this database to create an artificial consciousness. We are the organic consciousness from God, trying to create an artificial consciousness that's going to dominate this world. Clothes are magnetic. Every cell in your body has a magnetic field. Everything is made out of electromagnetic fields. This is the true model of the atom. The clothes you wear carry magnetic energy. This is the reason why all of the ancients only wore linen robes, because the frequency of natural fabrics are very high. These are not just fabrics, they are frequency, they are vibrational energy. Synthetic fabrics lower your frequency, and they leak microplastics into the pores in your skin. The Egyptians, Sumerians, Mayans all wore jewelry because they understood the frequency of metals. By wearing jewelry in certain places, we are enhancing the energy flow in the meridian in that area of the body. If we have wrist pain, we can wear copper around the wrist, which will enhance the frequency. Cells create organs, the organs create systems, and the system creates the body. Every cell, every organ, and every system has its own magnetic field, and this creates the overall magnetic field. That's why you have an anatomy. You are a giant atom. I'm not saying I'm perfect, and I'm not saying I wear linen all the time, but maybe this is something that we should consider. Our consciousness, our energy is affected by these magnetic fields. You see, knowledge is power. When you don't know these things, you have no influence. This book will give you understanding of who you are, where you are, and what you are. The devil is red because it's the lowest vibrational color, which is the root chakra. The root chakra is all to do with survival mode. In order for you to survive, you will kill and be in your animal nature. This is why the so-called devil has a goat head. The same goat you see in the music industry. This is why you call them the goat. They have not sold their soul to Satan. Satan is a demonic energy within the astral plane. These have exchanged money in order for them to portray and manifest negative energy through the music, so that they keep you in your lower states of consciousness in the root chakra. Music is frequency, and whatever you listen to, you are becoming that frequency. And the words that they say in the music are staying within your subconscious mind, which manifests your behavior. The devil's tail is a triangle pointing down because it's a part of your Merkaba, ascension and descension. Devil's tail is the downward triangle. Your Merkaba is your light body. Mer equals light, Ka equals spirit, Ba equals body. Merkaba. It's your celestial sphere to portray different planes of reality. The devil's tail is the descension. Your head is heaven, your heel is hell. God, your consciousness is in the brain. If you have this PDF, I've added new pages, just re-download it. The link is in the bio. You're stuck within the cage, the rib cage. You're in a prison cell because you're made out of cells. You are hexed in physical matter. This is the X, the hex. The hexagram's a cube unfolded is the cross. You need to escape the physical world, the three-dimensional matrix, which is the world of Satan. Because Satan gives you the mark of the beast, the physical body, the 666 carbon suit, and then blinds your mind. Your mind is completely separate from the physical world. Through physical pleasures and lack of understanding of yourself, you think your mind is part of your physical body, when in reality they are two separate things. Your mind is completely separate from your physical body. The physical world is a dimension within your mind. Men means mind, mental. Mind in Latin means mens. In order to escape the three-dimensional physical world, you have to fully detach your mind from your body. Meditation is key in transcending the 3D world and traveling the depths of your mind. Mind and matter is one. They are different dimensions within your mind. When you dream, your mind creates matter. This is why mind and matter are one. The cube is the shape that gives rise to physical matter. The link is in my bio for the Book of Wisdom, paperback and PDF. The toroidal field is a multi-dimensional energy pattern. It is a universal blueprint in which all energy and matter manifests. It can be visualized as a donut-shaped configuration where energy is in a continuous loop. The central axis in which the energy goes in and then back out is called the hyperboloid. And this corresponds with our spines. Our spines are also a hyperboloid for this electromagnetic torus field. The flow of energy within our torus field and our body follows the same principles that govern the larger universal patterns. Thoughts and emotions are also forms of energy which manifest through our electromagnetic torus field. A stone thrown into water will create ripples, which will create incandescent circles which travel outward. This is the two-dimensional representation of how we visualize sound waves. In three-dimensional space, sound waves propagate in all directions, which creates a spherical wave front. When these sound waves expand, they create the torus field shape. When we speak, we create vibrational waves which expand in all directions into torus fields. And this is why talking is called torque, torus fields. The words we say have an effect on other people's fields and your fields itself, affecting reality in all directions. Porn drains your sexual energy, which is your orange chakra, and this is why it's orange. Sexual energy takes over the mind and influences your body. This is why it's the most potent emotion the human can feel. It is symbolized as the serpent tempting you to eat the fruit, because it's tempting you to release your sacred fluids. Sexual transmutation is transmuting the sexual energy into other aspects of your life. It can either be kundalini, critical thinking, or even the gym. The spine has two coils wrapped around it, which is the energy channels for your kundalini to go up to the brain. The resurrection of Christ is nothing but a metaphor for rise erection, rising your erection sexual energy to the pineal gland to activate 100% of our brains to activate Christ consciousness. This is known as being born again and seeing the kingdom of God in John 3:3 for the 33 vertebrae on your spine. Your sexual fluids have a strong energy behind them, and this energy can create a whole new human being. So imagine how powerful that is if you retained it. We become mentally, physically, and spiritually stronger by holding this fluid. This is why it's free, because it makes you weak. You are the product. Stars are portals that lead into the astral plane. This is why the word astral has star within it. As above, so below. Whatever happens in the astral happens in the physical. It's a mirror. And this is why the Masons have the 2 pillars. It represents the number 11. As above, so below. The mirroring effect of reality. And this is why astrology is so important, because it can foretell the future. The Bible even says this, and let there be light in the firmament of the heaven, and let them be for signs. This is why God says in Job, can you lead forth the Mazzaroth, which means 12 signs? Do you know the audience of the heavens? Can you establish their rule on the earth? The stars foretell the future on the earth. They rule over the earth. Above your head is a giant clock which foretells everything you need to know. A month is a month because the moon travels around the 12 signs every 28 days. The sun tells the time of day. Stars foretell the time of year. Every single one of you is born into a specific alignment into the stars and planets. This is why everyone is different, and this is why everyone is on a different path. By finding out your personal chart, you can figure out certain events in your life. If you want a reading, you can now get them on my website. The link is in the bio. The earth is darkness, it produces no light. All of the light comes from above in the heavens. This is why all religions stem back to the worshipping of the stars. Without them, we would be dead. Why do you think Jesus is called the risen Saviour, the light of the world, and has 12 disciples for the 12 constellations? The sun rises every morning and saves you. He's the risen Saviour. Your body is the darkness, your consciousness is the light. Out of the darkness ye must rise upwards, one with the light and one with the stars. The emerald tablets of Thoth. Why do you think the Freemasons always show a ladder up to the celestial stars above and depict all of the light coming from above? They want you to believe this to keep you stuck down here within the darkness. The stars represent the higher realms beyond the earth. Beyond the stars is the astral plane. This is why the word astral has star within it. Change this to astro, astronomy. Space is fake. Earth rearranged is heart. Heart means middle. This is why the Freemasons stand on the checkerboard. It represents duality, good and evil, day and night. 13 is not unlucky, they made you scared. 13 adds up to 4. The number 4 is your fourfold nature, mental, emotional, etheric and physical. 4 seasons of the yearly cycle, 4 gospels, the cross is the 4. Jesus has 12 disciples for the 12 zodiac signs. He is the 13th because it represents human consciousness. We are all the universe experiencing itself. We are all Christ, we are all God. The 12 zodiacs go around us because they are the energies that influence our mind, body, and spirit. 13 is not an evil number. The word sacred is scared because they want you scared of the sacred things so that you do not do your research. The Bible is filled with cryptograms, metaphors, allegories, and astrological codes. Jesus is not God. We should not worship God. We should become the God self, the best version of ourselves. No one is coming to save you. You have to save yourself. Reptilians do not exist. It is metaphorical for using the reptilian part of our brain. The 3 parts of the brain correspond with the 3 parts of the body. If you're operating your life out of your gut, you're in hell, which is the reptilian animal state. Osiris represents the reptilian brain. This is why he's green. Top half of the body is the higher self. The lower half of the body is the lower self. If you're operating your life out of these lower 3 centers, this is hell. Instead, you want to use the higher brain, the neocortex, where critical thinking and rationality takes place. This is why Neo from the Matrix is called Neo, because he awakens and uses his higher brain. The devil and the angel on your shoulder is an internal battle between your higher and lower self. The devil has goat horns, which is a ground animal. The angel has wings, which is a higher animal, which represents the higher self. Jesus and Satan, Horus and Set, the higher self and the lower self. Religion has externalized the truth so that you believe Jesus and Satan are outside of you. This is done so that you do not transmute all of the negative parts of yourself into positive and become the God.